Welcome back to Puddins Extreme 4x4 Fabrication Shop, where we are known for building awesome four-wheel drive machines. Do not be fooled by this very high squeaking voice. All right, guys, I've been sick, okay? I still ain't feeling the greatest, but we gotta get work done. I can't miss any more work. It's driving me crazy. So if I'm squeaking a lot, it's because I've had a messed up throat and I finally hit puberty. We're not working on the fancy Mercedes. We're gonna get it pulled out the way and we're gonna bring old Roy into play. Last week, we finally got some exhaust wrapped up on it and we got a bunch of stuff where we could finally fire it up, let it get all the way up to temp. In fact, it started to overheat. That's a problem. The point is, she fires up off the key. We are very, very close to running and driving. And in fact, that's our goal this video. Our mission, soldiers, should you choose to accept it, is to take old Roy at least for a down and back somewhere by the end of this video. If you didn't know, I have a second channel called puddins.fab.shop too. And if you haven't been following that channel, you are not about to load up in there. You ain't got enough little spring in your bounce, buddy. I've been making more progress on the Mercedes floor, firewall, transmission. So if you ain't tried that channel, Thursdays at noon, give it a chance. I mean, we gotta get this thing on the road too eventually. Can't have Dad driving around on 37s by himself. It'd be downright rude. It's gotta have something cool to drive, cruise with. Back her down into place. Now we can play a game of which one's taller. Boy, I don't know. Those things are like neck and neck. Now, to be fair, I'm cheating. I got about 17 inches of body lift, but still. Heave! Ho! Heave! Ho! Woo! Woo! Them legs are on fire. Oh! Found the edge. Yeah. Now Nathan shows up. Old Nate Dog showed up right in time. Here's a little pro tip for you. If you're coming off a 3 or 4 day sickness kicking your butt, don't shove a truck up a hill. I got us a whole little kind of to-do list. I think we're gonna just jump right in and start with something I started looking at last week, the cold air intake, or that's what most people call it. We should really call it what it is because they always suck hot engine bay air, so the hot air intake. So like any good YouTube mechanic, I did what anyone would do and did absolutely zero research. And then I hopped on Amazon and I bought this, which was like a $50 air intake. Does not come with the mass airflow sensor. And this is for a 99 to 06, whatever. Should actually fit my white truck. Very smart choice, knowing good and well those kick off to the passenger side. And on this pickup, our battery's on the passenger side. Hey, keep it down up there. Theo got a new bone and he's just up there giving it hell. So this is supposed to kick off to this side. We don't want to go that side. In fact, I want to kick off to this side. A lot more room. And it does kind of 45. So we can almost use that to our benefit to kind of tuck that down where we want. Tried using the supplied elbow and it just ain't long enough. Right here I got us a bigger one and we're going to try to make something work. So that'll slide on there and it actually kicks us out about where we need to be. That looks pretty good. See, that other elbow's so short. If you try to kick that way, boom, rub in your alternator. Next, insert your tube. All right. And we may benefit to cut about an inch off of that by the looks of it. Inch and a quarter. What I'm looking at right now is one of the brackets that come on that tube. With that kind of turned down at the angle we need. We got to kind of determine that angle for good, where we can figure out if we can build a bracket to bolt up to that bracket. Hey, noisy, I know you're not meaning to do it, but I have a attention problem. And I really can't focus with you playing the damn snare drum up here with your bone, okay? So you're not in trouble. But what if we brought it down to that soft bed of yours where I didn't have to hear you chomping and tapping and slapping and everything? Is that fair? You even forgot your squirrel up here. The loft is officially turned into Theo's hidden treasures. Lay down. You stay. Keep it there. You're fine. Or, instead of cutting that off, because unless we cut that perfectly clean, that edge is going to look sloppy, and that edge looks nice, we could actually cut that bracket down where then this could go this way further and it wouldn't be kicking back. Before we do that though, let's get us a filter on there. This is the one that came with our cheapo kit, and it's just a freaking monster. So I bought this air filter. You can tell it's an air filter because it says it right on there. Dang! And we got the turbo mesh filter on this end, so she's easily picking up 15 horse here. And on this side, that's what would boop, pop onto our tube. I think we can make something like this work. Oh, slice and dice. Yes! That we definitely don't need. Cut it out. Now, no need to be overly precise here, guys. We're just cutting it down, slapping a new hole in it, and kind of cleaning up our edges. Two rattle can shakes, good enough. Oh! Hey, it's running for some weird reason. Do not worry, I'm professional. So you take that microfiber right there where it's kind of drying and blending, kind of ruffle her up to give it that hammered finish like what it has, and kind of makes it hard to tell. Look, even over here where they missed their powder coat hammer finish stuff. Boop, 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 boop. Like it never even happened. Quality. Rub the boot. Do the boot scoot boogie. Got a good job, I work hard for my money. When it's quitting time, I hit the door running. Ugly clamps is about my least favorite part of these things. I'm sure there's something that has to look better out there than worm clamps or these style. You see these air intakes and it's just clamp, 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 damn clamp. And I know we could fabricate one, but you still got to have some type of rubber boot. And you start looking up 4-inch aluminum bends and crap, and boy, they're proud of those things. So we don't want to overly tighten that because it's a pivot point, and we're trying to figure out where we want to sit at. This can now run straight because that bracket's not hitting our fan. Where before it was shoving it back, so that's good. And our tube is obviously a slip fit, so we got to determine how far out we want to run that sucker. I'm betting right in there's pretty good. Now we're gonna have to get something going on here. Let me show y'all. You'll see that little copper down in there? I still don't know if I have incorrect stuff, but all of our plugs off our cheap harness fit really good, and this one fits on here. The only problem is that was bridged with plastic from the factory, and this is not notched out for a bridge to be in there. So I thought it may have just been plastic, so I notched that. And the copper don't run all the way across there. I think I just kissed the edge of where copper was. So if it's working, we're gonna run it. That's right, if you're not angle grinder cutting your MAF sensors, are you even LS swapping correctly? Probably not, probably not. See, all she really needs is a little gasket maker on her, and then that'll keep moisture out and she'll never fail. And do not fear, if she ever throws a code for MAF sensor, we know exactly what we'll be checking or why it's bad. However, if I was a betting man, I bet we don't have no problems out of this. Little razor blade to do a little cleanup, nice little even spread. We're not redneck, okay? We want it to look nice. Says the guy putting RTV on his MAF. Look at that, huh? She clean? She clean. Hats, 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 hats. We've got hats. Can you guess what we got?
Hats.
Lucky guess. Richardson 112s. We got the flex fits with no snapbacks. We got camo hats.
Y'all got any pink hats?
Today's your lucky day. We've even got our trucker hats in multiple colors. The puddin'. Where's the Hawaiian hat? Hula hats are in stock and ready to ship. And nothing says I drive a lifted four-wheel drive like a classic trucker hat.
The pipe!
That thing would have sounded 10 times worse without this camo hat on. We've even got boonie hats back in stock, just in time for summer.
Summertime's over.
This hat and flip-flops say otherwise. And I got some of my drawings here, guys. I'm gonna sign all of these and we're just gonna throw them in with random orders. Some of my doodles, let's be honest, some are better than others, okay? We've even got our fancy leatherette the fancy koozies. They're back in stock, guys. As always, we appreciate the support at the puddins.fab.shop, and we hope y'all enjoy the rest of this video. Did you see the spider on the camera? Don't worry, the hillbilly ain't starting there. So on your map, guys, be sure to look for a flow. So that's gonna tell you which way it needs to go. So we're flowing that away, so the air needs to come in on this side. So we need to filter this side. And then it's gotta go out to the tube on this side. And that is exactly what I was wanting to check. Is that floppy? Well, I wouldn't describe that as tight. Is our filter side floppy? Now that one ain't bad. That'll be fine with the clamp. If you didn't like my hillbilly fix with the RTV, you probably ain't gonna like this side, or this fix, I mean. Why would electrical tape not work? We need to put some wraps on there, build that up. Honestly, the hose clamp will probably clamp down and seal, but if we can wrap this sucker a few wraps and help take up some of that slack where it don't try to wrinkle or clamp, what's the problem, guys? I mean, other than I get it, it's redneck. But if it works, is it really stupid? I mean, does electrical tape not seal up quite nice? So look right there, we're building a little flange. The only way y'all would even know is because I'm showing you and I'm being honest. What if I never showed you this part and I just said I clamped it on there? Y'all wouldn't know any different. So, hate on that if you want, but it's clamping down, it's sealed up nice. It ain't all buckled and goofy now, and it's gonna work just fine. Next, add your air filter. Good thing it says air filter. I thought it was a carburetor when I first seen it, but then I read air filter. I was like, oh, that's what it is. So before we figure out a mounting tab, we want to get this popped on here and kind of check our positioning so far. And I don't hate that. We're running pretty parallel as far as with our radiator and our tube. That kind of kick down right there angles it down towards this way. Looks like we can even pull our grill and add a couple holes back in there to actually get some cold air to this thing. Condenser should stay inside that area, so being out there is perfect. In fact, we see 2 holes. That's these 2 holes. So I think positioning wise, we're doing pretty stinking awesome. Speaking of stinking, hey, did you rip one? I caught that downwind, buddy. You're not sneaky. Golly, the new bone giving them the pooty poots. Most folks don't know these are actually really good to run on your air filters. Helps to keep the debris out of them. Just playing. I'm just looking for something I can prop something up with. I was thinking maybe those would work just about right. Not quite. Stupid idea. And instead of wasting another 30 minutes staring at this thing, we're just gonna start doing a little cutting. Do a little guessing and a little cutting. Oh man, like most pot Countyans, our old tape's missing a tooth. Whoop! Whoop! Little guessing never hurt. Shirt glove. You seeing it here first, folks. Oh yeah, most folks don't know that the shirt glove comes built into every PFS shirt, standard issue, no upcharge. This side, it's got this thing built in called sweat rag. You go like that, get that sweat off you. Also increases your ass kicking abilities by about 90%. Yeah, I made that part up. And that's weird, just guessing that. We're seeming to not do so good here. Huh. Trim a little more. Maybe we'll actually use the vise for what it's for. What a concept. We're gonna slide that down in there. Eagle Eye says we need to take about that much off for it to fit. If you can't figure out your brackets, guys, just start winging it and dinging it and firing from the hip, baby. Quick little wire wheel deburr, and let's go see where we're at so far. Right now it looks like we're trying to say, we're number one. We're number... Alright, I'll shut it. Hey, we're doing pretty good on our eagle eyeing, I'd say. In fact, I think we can just take some of this 1 inch, 1/8 inch thick, and we could probably weld that about like so, trimming a little extra off the top here. Whoop! The drop down deluxe seems to be fitting pretty good. Guys, if I seem like I'm struggling today after being sick, it's because I'm still a little sick. I am a little struggling as well, but we're gonna figure this out together. I wiped off half our marks, but no big deal. Yeah, we want to lighten this bracket up because we don't want it slowing us down when we're hot riding around town. Think about it. So we got about 1 3/8 inches there. Half of that should be 11/16. 11/16. Marker long ways as well. Then kind of just eyeballing some spacing for some 1/2 inch holes here. And I like 1 1/4 from center to center. Let's hit her with a little more juice here. How about we slap a freshie on it? Oh, she's speed holed up now, baby. Weld it up. Let's check the fit. Looking pretty stinking good if you ask me. All right, our hole is kind of out there in a goofy spot, but that's fine. Bolt is started where we can mark this now. Three drill bits later, I think we got it. Nailed it. Before I pulled that off, I gave us a little mark. We can trim off that back edge around some corners. Now, I may not be feeling great, but I've never missed a chance to shake it. Boy, I may not be feeling good, but I shook it so hard I snapped a shaft. Whoa, hold on. Let's rework the wordage selected there. I did not work nothing so hard to snap shafts. We finally shook with this so much we broke the shank. That sounds a little better. Looking like an aircraft part in that primer. She got the True Coat 2-coat special. I'm gonna go find something to snack on and drink some electrolyte thingy bobbers. Maybe take a little medicine and blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. As that paint in my belly sets up, let's lean over this. That'll help. at that big honker. First one I grabbed. I'm not gonna overthink it. I am gonna lube that hole saw and sand it. There's one. There's two. Y'all can see where this is headed, huh? All right, I haven't even looked up front. Let's see how we did. Oh, pretty good spot. You see that light through there? All right, she is a little floppy, so that's okay because the motor's gonna torque some. This has a lot of kind of play in it too, guys. But I don't, for anything to ever crack or break, I don't think so. And then again, maybe over time it does. And if it does, we'll fix it. And if it doesn't, we won't needs to fix it. So, there she be. Not the fanciest thing, not the trashiest thing I've ever seen. I've seen some trashy ones. But Puddin', with your jelly bean opening up front, all the rain's gonna come through there. You're gonna hydro lock your motor, cause in a rainstorm, it's gonna be sucking so much, you're gonna hydro lock that sucker. It's old Rat Rod Billy.
Did you hear me coming down there?
Yeah, I heard you coming. Being people 10 miles away heard you coming. Yeah. Wonder if that's long enough. Whoo, struggle bus. All aboard, choo-choo. I don't think buses say choo-choo. For now, we're gonna kind of fake route this. I think she'll work. Yeah, I about give up for the day. I'm gonna push through and get a couple more piddly things done. Ain't gonna lie, I'm trying to get easy stuff done. That'll work on that. Unfortunately, none of the stuff we've got left is overly exciting. It's just all the little piddly stuff. So I've already complained to you, but as you know, the charge wire for the alternator is not included in the harness for some reason. Stupid. Dumb. Don't make a lick of sense. So if you get your cheapo harness, be sure to add that and add your wire built in where you can just splice in your starter solenoid. People are like, you cut that on accident. No, I didn't. You think I'm gonna leave that damn ugly purple wire ran up as the only wire in the trough and down to the starter? That wasn't even an option for that to stay. I would run a whole new wire before we left something that ugly up there with nothing else up there. Ain't no wire being left behind like that. Not on my watch. You cut that wire on accident. You don't know you're gonna need it. No, I cut that on purpose. Because whether we need it or not, that ugly damn thing ain't staying up there regardless. Ta-da. Heat shrink on. Don't forget it. We want it to look nice. That is the goal. Boop. Strip it. Oh, dang it. I think I'm out of gas. We better strip that a little more. She's a little thick mama right there now. She's a good multi-string copper wire. Better quit, be passing out. And unfortunately, I'm out of propane or MAP gas, so I gotta use this little thing, which is my least favorite DeWalt tool ever made. So I'll see y'all in about 6 hours. I'll finally get this shrunk down. All right, little slippity fitty. There we go, baby. We're heat shrunk down. Y'all know it's crazy. Back in the day, y'all used to send so much heat shrink, and I'm just now about finally running out of the different sizes. Luckily with the throttle body, guys, we can kind of snake that wire down across the front of the motor. It won't look too terrible. Of course, no secret, we're going right to the back of this baby. Yep. Now, do we lay it down there and just come up here? Would be the really easy thing to do. Or we could turn and head west and actually tie it on with the starter post down there. Should be a little more hidden then, and then we don't got to be adding more goofy wires up in here now. All right, now I'm gonna elect to drop the wire down and we'll fish it along this one. Of course, thanks to this already being ran, this part's real easy. Once we get up here, I do have the battery unhooked. And don't forget our other wires that come off that post. They're all clamped up in there. We already got 2 that feed that harness. So let's just add 1 more. Kill! We're just kind of fitting that baby to length and making sure that'll reach. Looks perfect. My wife's damn hair dryer would get this thing done faster. How many eyelets can we fit on the back of our starter? The correct answer, as many as we need to. Still better than seeing 1,000 damn wires ran up to a battery. Now that I've messed with a little wiring, it got me thinking last time how the electric fans didn't kick on. And so I'm like, man, did I mess up? Is it not turned on in the computer? That I'm not sure. But we can do a little bit of troubleshooting and kind of have a general idea, I think. So the way those are wired up, our fan should output a ground, which then kicks on our fan relay and fan turns on. If it's not the if the computer's not flash for it, then it's never outputting a ground. So if we can find where that wire is and ground it and the fans kick on, then we'll know it's probably the computer. Boy, my brain's barely working today, so I don't know why I'm trying to do something that involves brain power. For this, we're gonna hook up our power probe. Highly recommend you have one of these if you're gonna be messing with your electronics. You can hook that up to your battery, and then if you hit for positive, you output a positive, and if you hit your negative, you output negative. I looked up our pinout once again, and it's green is pin 33, and blue 42. Hi! Green 33. Okay, we got one on. Blue 42. How come we're not getting our second one? It should be just the same. Should just be looking for a ground. What in the bass backwards? I just realized something. On our test probe on the one, apparently I gave it 12 volts. Yo, got a little shock there. It'll wake you up, make you feel a little better. What the hell, Over? It don't make sense in my head how I could even hook that up backwards over there on that side of things. Because over there, those relays should all be turned on from our 12 volt key. Damn, that thing moved some air. Gave old blue 42 a 12 volt signal, and it kicked on just fine too. So I don't know what I did backwards, because I'm about 99% certain that outputs a ground signal. In fact, Randy sent me this, which is what I use to wire up the relays on the Travelall, same computer and stuff. And on it, you'll see ignition hot number 2. So you're using an ignition hot to turn on these relays. And then we're using PCM fan control 2 and 3, PCM fan control 1. And this shows you how to wire it to make an AC circuit work with it as well to trigger it. So that says we gotta have ground signals from those. I'm trying to figure out how I could've, I see, says the blind man. A little relay panel I'd added, guys. I had to crack her open to see what I'd done. Poop brown wire goes to a fan. Green wire goes to a fan. In the same sense, the same smaller color wires are the ones that trigger it. So those are the ones hooked up. They run over to there. And then I got to looking and I'm like, well, yeah, those are all looped together for grounds, right? So I left those and hooked up that gray wire as a ground, which obviously having a ground on one side of the coil and then a ground over there ain't gonna do us no good. It also explains why when we add 12 volts over there, it's kicking the coil in. And the reason I probably wired it like that is our fuel pump does trigger with a 12 volt hot off of that wire right there. So we actually do need that side of that coil for that relay grounded. But then 1 and 2, being 1 and 2 number fans, those we actually need to get on a 12 volt key. Which means we're gonna have to run a 12 volt key, because I don't believe I have one over here. Oh, well, except for the fuel pump. Whenever we go to start it and the fuel pump cycles, the fans will too. Oh, this ain't funny. It's kind of funny. I messed up. You gotta be joking me. Those pinouts I've been looking up on my phone, I've had them printed out this whole time. This is everything if you need to figure out the wiring on my Travelall. That's right, here's what I was hoping to find. Because this is exactly how I wired up the fans on the Travelall. So we've got 12 volt key going to all 3 legs. And we got a PCM for number 2, feeding that one and that one. And then we got 12 volt constant power feeding just this one and this one. But this one's got to be a 5-legger. You can't get away with a 4-legger. It's settled. We need 12 volt key ran over to that side. So I know wiring's confusing and it's easy to make mistakes on. And if you're seeing this going, what the hell? Looks like a pain, kind of is a pain. Should have planned for that before I ever did that. But it works beautiful. Works awesome on the Travelall. I've had 0 issues. Now, I can't show this full process because I'm going to be doing good to not confuse my damn self. Those are all daisy chained together, as are grounds. And we determined we only actually needed 1 ground, and that was to the fuel pump relay. So I'm going to de-pin all of those. And this one was going to the fuel pump, but now this one's going to go to the fuel pump. And it's a total pain in the butt, but you can use a scribe and wiggle around in there. You got to bend these little clips. Luckily they're brass, so they bend pretty good. And then you can bend them back. And that one right there is actually our fuel pump, so we need to reinstall it. I said we need to reinstall it. Boop, she clicked in. Now fuel pump is perfectly fine. No other changes required there. Our grounds are coming out of this other side. I already swapped that wire there. I wanted this because I told you we need, all 3 of them need a 12 volt key. Well, we can salvage this and now run our 12 volt key to here. We just got to make sure to pin it out in there correctly. And I ain't going to show every step of this because 1, it's going to take a minute. 2, I'm going to be doing good enough to not confuse myself besides trying to confuse y'all as well. Just trust the process. It's got us this far in life, huh? Now to get these out, you got to kind of shove that down in there. And some, that little tab bends real easy. And the others, you'll start fighting the plastic ledge in there, and you'll have a damn battle royale on your hands. I think that one went. Did it? Did it? Nope. Just joshing. Just fooling with me. That's all she's doing, playing hard to get. You think this would just, boom, pop right out. Boom. All right, we did get that one. This is our ground from PCM for fan number 2. Do not forget that it needs to be tied to the ground for our 3rd relay we're adding. And we need to stub a piece of wire out that we can take to the trinary switch in the future. Well, if y'all recall, I stubbed out one of these and left extra wires in case we needed an additional relay. And now we do. Let's pull out that trigger wire, swap it to our other side, and then we need to tie that together like so, and then we can stub off of that one and run additional wire to our trinary switch. These just all need to be linked together. So realistically, what's that look like? Well, we cut the dookie wire the same length as our white wire, and we just tie them together. And then on the other side of our dookie wire, we just crimp in another wire as well to run to that trinary switch, because that's all that matters is they all tie together. And with that crimp job, they're officially all tied together. So that's all of our ground triggers. And now as far as the 12 volt key trigger, we just pop those 3 in place. Boom, boom, boom. And obviously we got to run the wire over for it so it's not as fast. But you see what I'm doing here. I'm manipulating the situation for my mess-uptation. And modification. To be fair, we didn't originally plan on factoring for vintage air. Now we are. Now listen, I know this is a little messy again. We'll wrap her all up, it'll be fine. Luckily, some of these I needed a ground. Well, on one of the ones going to the fan, you're replacing the ground. So down there I had to get to our ground wire for the fan, snip it. On the ground side that still goes to the ground, I tied in this because we needed a ground. But on this relay, that's the output now to that ground side. So then I tie it in down there. Confusing? I know. Some of these got to share, like those need to be tied together. It's tied together. We have our trinary switch wire added. The last thing we need to do is run our wire over and tie in our 12-volt key to that little stubby wubby right there. Good morning. Yeah, I know. Yell, boo, whatever. We're still messing with the wiring. I want to test it before we finish it up. No one's more annoyed about the wiring than I am. But right here we got a 5-legger pegger. Let's pull that out the way. I also know what else you're thinking. Hey, Puddin', are you feeling better? Not really. I bet we keep pushing though. So that one, let's drop down in there. We'll end up labeling it number 3. Added our 2 wires running across, popping out one for our trinary switch right there. You can see I finally tucked that underneath there. Looks a lot nicer. And thankfully, our push in the hole zip ties that I used to run along there, guys, you just snip those. Drop your wire in that split loom and reinstall some new zip ties. So she's looking good. Found a 12-volt key wire right there. And before we finish wrapping that up, let's do some testing. Key is on. Green 33 is number 2. So blue 42 should be number 1. Let's see what happens. Still nothing? Oh boy. No, 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 don't do this to me. I ain't got enough brain power to figure it out. Pass this. Oh, hold on. Fan number 1 may spin better if it's plugged in. I had to unplug that one and check for continuity just to be able to verify which one was 1 and 2 yesterday. And thankfully I just remembered that. Could you imagine tearing into it thinking you did something wrong again? The whole time the damn fan wasn't plugged in. Boy, I just got jumped by a pry bar and a damn meter. Try again. Still nothing. What the heck, over? There's something over here clicking. That's strange. See, we should be able to put a ground here and get both the fans kicking in. Boy, does this dramatic saga continue on this, guys. I did not want to even take this long on wiring, I promise. However, again, this is the reality of doing the stuff yourself. I showed y'all we wired up our 12 volt. I tested the 12 volt over there, making sure we had 12 volts. Keys on, keys off. Come over here, and guys, for my troubleshooting, I just flipped this sucker over. I got my meter, got my little power probe, and I just started going through. I had hooked up 12 volt ignition, so on the 12 volt ignition side, I tested for 12 volts. Once I seen 12 volts, I'd put a white paint mark. Boop, boop, boop. That means it was good. I checked for continuity on this one, going from our relay to our PCM. Check continuity on these ones, verifying it was from our PCM. Also good. Once everything was good, on the top side of the coils, I started checking the bottom side, starting with our battery power. We got 12 volts coming in, 12 volts coming in. Both were hot, baby. Give it a white dot. Y'all can see what I'm doing, process of elimination. I messed up here. I checked from leg 30 of our newly added relay to the ground side of our fan number 1 for continuity. It was not good. So I told you I had those wires unhooked so I could check for continuity. I checked it and then still cut the wrong ground. Instead, this leg was actually feeding down to here. So I swapped that. Once I swapped that, I started over, went through and checked it again, and I check it. I still can't get no fans, guys. I'm like, what the heck? I've checked continuity on every leg. Everything's going where it's supposed to be, and I can't get these damn fans to turn on. I'm like, so what if that new relay's bad? Oh, and this is good. This is a, oh man, don't be knocking out fuses now. Don't worry, I put us a cheat sheet up in there, baby, right there, dang it. Yeah, I might be going a little crazy. This damn cold, whatever you want to call it. Taking damn medicines. I'm going crazy. So I'm like, hey, why don't we check our relay here? See if we can just hear it clicking. So I put one leg to there. I put a leg to there. Sure sounds like it's clicking. Next, I'm like, maybe just because it's clicking don't mean it's got continuity. So I took my little meter Peter and I set her to ohms. And I was like, oh, good. It don't have continuity. And then I was like, oh, wrong leg, dummy. Hold on, what's going on here? I got it on the wrong one twice. There it is. Okay. Point was I did that there and I had it wrong. I'm just showing you it does have continuity. So these have a normally closed circuit, which that's that one. And then when this relay cycles, that one breaks. And then that one and that one are, you know, yeah, doing their thing. They're flowing and going. Like, all right, hell, it's clicking. That's the only other thing we added. So if it was bad, it wouldn't do us no good. Why don't you work? No, it's a good thing, guys, because once I verified continuity everywhere, and I knew both fans should be going on, and they weren't coming on, I was like, well, what's the only other thing that changed? The only other thing that changed was the 12 wire or 12 volt key wire I hooked up. So that's where you want to go. It's the only other factor. And when I had it hooked up a minute ago, when I thought of that, I took my test probe and I put it on the leg of that relay, the one y'all just heard go click, click, click for a ground, and I gave her a ground. It didn't even click. It was like, click. It couldn't even finish spelling click. It couldn't do it. So I tested all the relays, and if I held a ground and touched to that, the suckers were barely clicking. Now you take that meter right there and you go onto the 12 volt side of that relay of the coil side, and it shows a healthy 12 volts. But you put a ground on the other side and it don't click the relay? Seems a little fishy to me. So I did what any good professional electrician like myself would do. I tied a test wire to that and unhooked it from that one I'd hooked it up to. Right now, see just alligator clip to the back of the alternator. Knowing good and well that's a nice 12 volt source. And we're about to test this out together, guys, because everything indicates now with the different 12 volt source on this side, it has to work. And if it don't work, y'all's gonna see me crash out, like full lose it for the first time ever on YouTube. We're gonna do it together. Here we go, folks. Ground that baby out. Our green wire right here is our trigger wire for the low speed from that PCM. Woo! Yeah, baby. Y'all hear it? Hear how they're kind of quiet? Listen to them. Nice little quiet things. Now, what happens if we ground out the other relay, which then give each one its own? Damn right. You hear how they sound like a turbocharger? So I did have one wire flip-flopped, but since then, the last hour and a half, I've been chasing a bad 12 volts. That'll read 12 volts just fine on that meter, but can't handle enough amperage to cycle a damn relay coil. And I'll tell y'all what, this is gonna happen to someone else. Maybe not wiring up the same thing, but stuff like this happens, guys. And I fully understood once I checked my schematics and was checking my pin out. I'm like, okay, I messed up those two wires, big deal, I flopped it. But after that, when it wasn't working, I'm like, what the hell? You get bad power wire out of some factory harness, out of some old stuff. Who would have thunk it? And that's our low. We are tidied back up over here, no problem. Now over here I found us a better 12 volt key and hooked that up. However, before I finish wrapping up all those wires, one other wire we don't currently have ran is our fuel gauge. Should be one of those wires, so before we bundle that all up again, let's see if we can figure out which one's which. I was hoping the fuel gauge would be pointing down and then I could touch a ground wire to it and it would point up. Unfortunately, mine's just stuck at full blast. Y'all know how the old Chevrolet steering wheels get the case of the sticky? Boy, I ain't never seen one as worse as this one, look. It's dropped a puddle on our coated floors. That's what we want to lay in. Oh, excuse me, petrified buddy. I thought it was a light tan wire that would run to our gauges. That's what I remember taking out anyhow. It's not that I care we get the fuel gauge working, we just got to make sure we're hitting the correct one. We can get it working when we cover the interior stuff. So this is where during teardown of this truck, had it been a little more proactive and just marked this one wire, we wouldn't be having to fully determine which one it is now. However, that's broke. The biz only had a couple screws in it. Looks like a couple more 1/4 inch little headed things here. We'll have it out. Oh, that's good. These things are all cracked up. I think someone's had this out before because mismatch hardware right there. Basically every mounting point has broke off now. And I think we're probably supposed to have the dash out as well. I don't really want to have to replace the gauges, but we'll do what we have to do. Oh, what a damn mess, huh? Y'all think she ever seen some dirt roads in her life? All right, we know our fuel gauge is right there. So I might have to track and figure out what's what. See that brown wire right there? That one comes out. It's the one in the little middle bunch there. She does the sloopity poopity, swoopity around to right here. It's isolated, so that's a good sign. See how that one in the middle's not isolated? That's probably a ground. Sharon. And the other one, if we could track it, it's probably gonna tie in somewhere and be the 12 volt or vice versa. Yeah, it's gotta be that one right there because this one goes down and it shares where there could be additional lights down there by the looks of it. So this one here swoops over, goes right to that brown wire, and I thought I said it was a tan wire, so that's what we're looking for. So right there, let's put our probe from our meter in there. Got her set to ohms. We're checking for continuity. Found it. Tied that wire to our other probe. Now we can test right there at the fuel gauge. We found her. Now let me say, I didn't even plan on doing this type of fan wiring until we did the vintage air, but obviously it's just done. And I'm trying to breeze through this, so our brown wire from the fuel gauge, I've just ran it down, then along our brake line. It'll pass through that grommet. We need to hook it up. And then the rest of the wiring is just the stuff to run to the back. Now do not forget this was a long bed we cut down, so we got a little extra wiring, so I'm just gonna wrap it to itself. And we're gonna try to hide that just behind our boxing plate. And this should wrap up what I can think of right now for wiring. Every little thing's gonna fight me on it though. Once again, I'm gonna promote for these little suckers right here. I needed these in my life a long time ago, guys. Because as I go down through here, there's holes already drilled in the frame. And boy, it sure makes it nice and easy. Just push that in there. Zip, be able to zip her down. Now, luckily our bed's not bolted down. Do the old lift and block. Because I did pre-wire the fuel pump, but I never pre-wired the stinking fuel sender. That'll let us snake up in there though. Oh, y'all didn't hear that? Heck of a time to be in a tight quarter and start ripping one of them numbers. Wowee, chicken noodle soup, huh? All right, too much information, I do apologize. Don't act like you ain't ever got pulled up in a tight space though and had to rip one. It'll happen. Heat guns and fuel tanks, what could go wrong? Washer, lock washer, nut. We love wiring. Yes, we do. We love wiring. How about you? Wiring complete. Damn you. Whew. today's having the opposite effect of what I hoped. I was hoping as we went on, I got stronger, better, faster. Instead, I'm getting weaker, dumber. Brain ain't working. Sloppier. Well, we just kind of ran our wiring back to the rear. On our to-do list, I got to actually mount this baby down. Now, before you mount yours down, make sure you're happy with it. I checked both sides and both look good to me. And I've got one in good eye, so you can trust that. Y'all like the video of my weld there instead of actually recording that? Last week I called out the fabricator, Justin, from the fabrication series, and to build us a cheapo stainless exhaust using components like what I used, because he builds all the fancy stuff. And he actually responded. I pinned it on last week's video. He accepted the challenge, said it's probably going to take him a few weeks to get something together. I'm sure he's busy, but be expecting a response there. This side I'd cut an access hole for our fuel tank straps. This side we're not so lucky. Just damned old plate in the way. I'm sure snaking my fingers back behind there, holding my washer and starting the bolt's gonna go super easy. I know y'all could tell I meant that side from my soul. I meant that one from deep down. Y'all remember my friend Hole Saw from earlier? Oh, that Looby Dooby smells good. That's what I needed. Should have been sniffing on that all week. Would have been healed already. 1/8-inch plate. She ate it like a champ. And we probably could have got that started without doing this. It would have been a pain. Big old pain. And then in the future, anytime we'd ever have to take this bed off, if we do, it's going to be a pain. So just better cut an access hole now. And thankfully that wiring I bunched up back there was sitting nice and low. And yeah, we didn't get into it with our hole saw. Obviously, at least like this, we can tighten it up too. One little turn at a time. So I picked up on this side, and maybe y'all have noticed this thing acts like it's limited travel on this side. The funny thing is this shackle bolt is the one that actually pivots forward enough that the hardware hits the bracket, and this side can't. And it makes me think the only thing that really could be limited, obviously, is the shock. We got Nate Dogg on the zoom. If you notice that bolt dog walk in there, oblonging, but they don't look good. Hey yo, hold on. Did y'all see as that come out, it dropped? That bolt's in bad shape. What the hell, over? I've had that piece of wood there because every time I set this truck down, it wants to roll away. And that just doing the little plop drop made me nervous. And I ended up checking the lift. And looky here, that don't look too good. I mean, I think we're safe right now, but do I want stuff to start popping and shaking more right now? No, so we better fix this before we drop that. Obviously, that comes out a lot easier. So that's interesting. That shock's definitely what's limiting this. Our eyelet there is only about 1 inch below that, which obviously does not allow for a whole lot of travel. And everything's in factory location. In fact, if anything, this rear end's actually shifted forward some because I closed up our bed gap and then re-drilled our pins to take the rear end forward to accommodate for all of that. So if anything, that one should have gained some clearance, not lost some. Boy, I hate naps, but damn one seems pretty tempting right now. Shoo boo 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 boo. Shoo boo 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 boo. Since we've got our weight down, it'd be a great time to actually tighten up our shackle bolts. I waited to do this till the truck was together because you want to do it with the weight on it, guys. Don't want to do her up in the air. Loud, obnoxious impact noises. Boom. Did all of our shackles. And in the video, it probably seemed like I was over torquing them, but I loosened them off and then did them again where just when I see it start to squeeze and meet up on that, where they're not over torqued. Getting a little carried away here. Marching my happy booty down here to get our fuel filler. Luckily, all I brought was a old flathead to rusty clamp fight. Did you see me just use that as a knife? I gave it the old rubbing force. What in the damn tree? 1, 2, 3, 4. We got this. 3, 5. Fast and the Furious Theo Drift. Well, Theo's feeling better this morning. Yesterday, I felt so bad I went and took a nap. And when I walked in the house and said that, that's when the girls know that I don't feel good. They're like, uh-oh, Dad's taking a nap. I don't know if you can tell. Today, I'm feeling tons better, and I'm hoping this stays the same. What the hell is this? World's longest stud? It's a bolt, dummy. Now, we gotta be fast and efficient today. Guys, this should have taken a day and a half to get done what I'm trying to get done. Things don't always go your way. Fuel filler neck, just waiting on some 1/2-inch hose for the vent line. And for this, I just got to thinking, if up there's too high, we need a little more. Right here's a flat area, so I really don't see why we can't just drop down here and drill a new hole. Like I said, I don't really understand why this one has more, but if we drop down, it'll keep it around the same angle. It'll compress it a little more, AKA, then it'll give us a little more travel. Check our backside. I knew there was a brake line back there. We're good. You want to drill through and hit that baby. Metal shavings be gone. Quick side note. See how that original mounts over there on the flat side of the frame? Now this is on the divot. Whew. Well, that divot's to create clearance for your shock. Now we still have plenty. I was worried stepping over like that was gonna put us out of alignment with our lower shock. However, if you push that straight back, it looks to be really in line with it. So now I'm wondering if, since that was jogged over before, if that wasn't binding some perhaps and maybe keeping it from going. I doubt it, but you never know, I guess. Either way, it looks like we can easily put that up in place now. Where's that sweet spot? Where's that sweet spot? Right there. Not to get too fancy on y'all, I'm even replacing an old crooked bolt. Shock number 1, fixed. Check this out though. I don't know if the camera's really gonna justify or show it, but that shock is definitely running out. Now, these shocks have the same part number, so they should have the same amount of travel. And since we did it on one side, I say let's just do it on the other side as well. Whoa, look at that thing keep stroking. That thing, what the hell, that can't be the same. Did y'all see how that shock just kept extending out? Now, y'all can go back in the footage. I remember for a fact opening the shocks and saying like, how are all these the same part number? That's weird. You'd think they'd be different. And they weren't. They were all same part numbered shocks as far as the boxes were labeled. So I just threw them on anywhere. But just seeing how much that sucker stroked, I'm like, that can't be right. Check this out. Yes, this is the part where I tell you we drilled a hole in our frame for nothing. On our front one here, look how close that is. Got right at the light's worth a stroke. How's that one? clearly they're not all the same part numbers, whether the boxes said they were or not. So I need to flip-flop some shocks around. Now that being said, us drilling the new hole back there is still putting better alignment on that, because I'm telling y'all, those things are deflected like that. And after drilling the new holes, they're a lot straighter. So it'll help not wear out the bushing, should prevent binding, hopefully save our seals a little longer, blah, blah, blah. This one was on the front. This one was on the rear. Those need to be swapped. Or maybe it was the 4-inch lift kit that they had matching all the way around, and then I just got these two flip-flopped. All right, new correction. Still drilling new hole, because if we drill that down, then we're gonna start getting that so compressed because it's the proper shock. I took the spacer off the outside and flipped it to the backside just to help take up threads. And that shock's way more straight up and down. On the other side, I did this really simple trick where you just flip-flop the shocks and put the correct ones in the correct spots. Also did the spacer flip on this rear one, and I guarantee you she's better than she's ever been. Let's keep the momentum going, slap our battery on. Let's test our headlights. Hey, yo, that's a good sign. Looking at our list, we don't have a steering column hooked up right now. We got a new gearbox, we got a new rag joint, and with all that stuff being new, I can't get enough slop to get the dang thing started, and I pried on it and pried on it. I think we'll probably just unbolt our column and try to get a little more play out of it. And since we're here with the old sticky wheel. Oh, she loose. She ready to come off there. Oh yeah. All right. Well shoot, that's easy enough. I don't remember if I had pulled that or not, but someone had at some point. It's crazy, guys. I hate having to like tear that out of there, because that factory insulation, of course, it's just gonna rip out. But look how nice that looks behind there. Ain't that crazy? Paint looks brand new, hardware looks nice. All them little bolts on the inside, then out here, we got a little clamp up at the firewall, and then lost one nut. Let's see if we can lose the next. I stayed at it, and I finally got a few turns on that other one. She's a clamp, so just getting a few turns to loosen it, that column drops some. It should allow us to move it some. Oh yeah, she moved back. So now I gotta find her flat spot. And let's unlock this girl. And I did spin or set our wheels as straight as I can kind of eyeball it. Uh-oh. Hey, our wipers work. Sounds like a slow moaning donkey. All right, that was weird. Why did we take it there? I don't know. Here we are. Now I eyeballed our wheels being pretty straight. I know they ain't gonna be perfect. We'll have her aligned. And now going back together, since that should be pretty close, easiest thing to do is probably come in here, pick up on this. Right there. Yeah, and get these started. That'll help hold everything else into place. Tighten those up. Got a bolt on a rag joint. Column is back together. We do need a steering wheel, however, but let's see what I got so we can get the old sticky finger off there. Oh, careful. Oh, that one's a GMC. That one's a Chevrolet, but she's the newer model. I feel like I have one more of these somewhere. We'll run anyone that ain't sticky for now. How's that? And since we know we'll end up changing this, I'm not gonna impact it down tight. That quick release feature's pretty nice. At least when we go for our first test drive now, we won't have them loogie on our hands, you know. Hey, shout out to the hot rod hunters. they're fans of the channel, and I've met them at the last two swap meets down there at Pate. Good guys there. Let's get a little power steering fluid down in this sweet thing. See if we can't make a little mess here, huh? Our gearbox should be dry, so let's fire this sucker up and cycle it a little bit. It's making some good noises. There you go. Quiet down, old mama. Oh, yeah. Very nice. Just about perfect. Whoa, is that the alternator? Let's see what kind of voltage we're getting out of that unit. Oh, thank you, Lord. Man, I feel better today. 14.8. Power steering, alternator's charging. Success. Half-inch hose here. Let's get this one. After a quick test fit, looks like we need to trim down. And this is too big. A little loosey, but I think we can clamp her down and she'll probably work just fine. And if it don't, we would have always thought it should have. I redid that one just because it looked like it may not quite be right. It was kind of right on the edge. Hey, let's take a minute to appreciate the fact that somehow I managed to keep a hold of these 3 screws. Yep. Ooh. Ah. Snap. I realized yesterday our speedo cables broke on the other side. Up on the cabs. Whoa, ho, ho. All right. What the hell over? Well, that'll make you shit yourself. Excuse my language there. I'm assuming that lip was barely holding that up, because that is leaning. Our back ones are good, and it still looks good. That just popped off of there. Good golly. I've got 2 wheel chocks trying to keep this thing from moving around. And apparently I've got to check it every single time, which I should be anyways. I get the old hard to go in there, folks. Oh, dang it. I thought we were free up top, but there's a clamp right up there on the firewall. Also, we were messing with our power steering that, so I guess that could have shifted us left or right a little bit. All right, I'm gonna go change my drawers, and then we'll keep chugging along. I got a new theory about what just happened, guys. I don't think the lift was on each lock on each side all the way. I think one lock had barely caught it, because when I pulled that and went to lower it down, the passenger side, I think was the side, it dropped a lot before the driver's side started. So it was like it slipped off a lock or something. Whoop! Drop that old new one down in, install her for the win. A lot easier to get to that from down here. I did forget to grease this bad boy. They do come oily, guys, but a little grease on her won't hurt. So I'll slick it up real quick. We're to the point where I was hoping we'd be able to throw some drive shafts in and finish up a few other little small things. Problem with putting our drive shafts in is we got some leaks going on. Out the transmission and out the front axle. Pinion seal's leaking, and our diff cover, I do believe. I like to take our spring-loaded punch and put a mark on the nut and the shaft, and then we can count our threads, and then we'll know where to put this back to. Oh, that just wanted to come off there, huh? We're dripping now. Phew, that stinks, whatever's all in there. Golly, that's a stinky stink thing. Well, that is not the same as that. This is for a 44, I think. And some of this is just my lack of knowledge. So I looked on the parts, or on the website, 8.5 inch ring gear, differential front. This one right here says an inside diameter of 1.94. I would say that's 1.94. Outside 2.817, and I got 2.815. So yeah, that's what we need. We're gonna have to order that proper seal. This front's been leaking. I had got in here and cleaned everything, put a new gasket on it, so I'm not sure why it's leaking. Look over our new fluid down the drain. And that new gasket sure did seal to the cover side good. Can't even get it off. She does appear to sit pretty flat. Now she's got a little rock to her. So last time I was in here, I noticed that something had chewed up on there before. You see that? Carrier's marked. You can see where it's got into that cover before right in there. There are some shavings and stuff. But, I mean, I just flushed it out and threw it back together. Well, this time I pulled it out and I'm like, what's that in the bottom? I come over here to clean it out. Look at that, guys. Now that's all dirty where that cracked off. So that's been cracked. I think it finally just fell off the pinion gear back there or something. Probably when something shelled back in the day, probably stress cracked those. And then I guess that's just rolling the truck around since then has knocked those off there. And after closer inspection, the back of those pinion gears right down there are missing. And the closer inspection again looking, it's also 8 teeth off of that ring gear right in there before. AKA, we probably have a ticking time bomb. Who knows how much more stuff's stressed, fractured, whatever. I don't have a 3/4 ton axle just laying around for this thing, so we're just gonna have to slap it back together for now, just knowing we're gonna have to keep an eye out for one. Luckily, we don't even have to run that because we can just leave the front disengaged, whatever, so we just can't test the 4-wheel drive, but we should be able to get her running driving still. That thing may be about to grenade, but that don't mean we want it leaking on us still, so little RTV, so it's a pain in the butt to take apart next time in the near future. Slap that back on, and that's all we can do for now. Up next is another major leak. Before we put this drive shaft in, I'm thinking we may want to drop this transfer case. Try to sort that leak out in between there. Support our trans, support our transfer case. I'm hoping we can pull this out and then get the transmission jack up underneath here. First time doing a transfer case with this. In fact, other than our Mercedes in this truck, I've never pulled a transfer case from anything. Just got our 4 bolts that go in the transmission. Get our last one now. Drop our trans down. Ow, ow. Headbutt that V-band clamp bolt. Seems like we may have found a sweet spot right there. I'm no genius, but I'm pretty sure a rubber seal's supposed to be in there. And there is not. And I got one of them on order as well. I hope the correct one. But we can't really do much more with that. And there ain't no sense in pulling it plumb out of there because we could very, very easily rock it back up and stab it back there. So we just want to leave that as well. Both seals will be here in the morning. I'm gonna take my wife out tonight. Yesterday was her birthday. Of course, I was sick. So we can't get too much more done. I was looking at the rest of our wiring harness here, and it had some of the little wire biters that are falling apart. They went to the trailer light harness that has some more little wire biters. So I'm gonna cut those out of there and we'll splice in a new one. And I'm just gonna knock that out and y'all ain't gonna miss too much, and we'll just see y'all first thing in the morning. Good morning. We're straight to it, folks. Let's in here cleaned up good. Last night was awesome. We went and seen that comedy show, the Nate, I don't know how to say his last name, guy. Him and all of his openers were hilarious. I've never been to anything like that. First time for everything, I guess. And had a really good time. Got to spend first good date night with my wife in a long, long time. And then on the way home, we had to stop at the gas station and walked in there, and a fan was working, had my shirt on and everything, so I got to meet Dustin, just like the cherry on top for the night. That was a great night. Get your very fancy install tool. She's flush, baby. Little brake cleaning Scotch Brite reveals our yoke right there. She's pretty pitted and kind of scarred up, so that may actually be why it is leaking. It look like she keys on a certain way, so just install it. And I wire wheeled our nuts. Very important to take our time here and get the correct amount of threads. Right there. No slop in it. Here, let me turn this damn x-ray off. How's that? You don't need to see the damn skeleton on the inside. You'll see our dot there. Up on the nut, maybe. Lined up. Good news is, overnight, we definitely had time for our RTV gasket combo to set up. And now we'll top her off with some gear fluid. That's just topping her off, nothing to watch there. And then that thing's just ready to be a ticking time bomb. Help! Help! He's got me! Help! Help! He's got me! Oh, the vicious killer! Oh, the vicious killer! Who melts at a butt rub? I know how to defeat you. Butt rub. Oh, him loves a butt rub. Oh, look, vicious killers, come. Vicious killers, come! Ah, help everybody! Oh no. Not the patented pending machine gun bites where he does 1,000 nibbles with the front teeth only. Y'all think that may seal better with actually having a seal in there? Let's try. We're gonna steal some fluid off of there. We're gonna use it to wet this baby up. Next, we're gonna put on our transfer case adapter there because it's the only place it fits. And now we quite simply gotta slide this all back together. It's gonna be so easy. We started. Dang, it really was easy. Oh, hold on. Hold on. As you recall, this cab never belonged to four-wheel drive, but it was a big block truck, so it had the high hump tunnel that helped clear some of it. Back in the day, I marked right there that we needed to beat on that area some to clear our transfer case. And I noticed that was rubbing. So while we have that separated, let's whoop on it. That did just split, unfortunately. Guys, there's so much metal there. I've been doing that, moving fast to not split it and then hammering it up and creating a wrinkle for all that metal to go up into. So let's make it a wrinkle. I don't know if she's enough, but there's clearance. I don't know if there's enough. There's more. Well, very uneventfully, I just slid that sucker right up into place. No fight, no nothing. Looks like we're gonna be able to clear up there. Of course, we gotta put cross member in. Yeah. Bolts in, lined up beautifully. Speedo secure. Shifter on. Woo! Zippity zappity. Tighten up that cross member, guys. That really wasn't too bad. Now I say that as I have a lift and transmission jack, but I was really not looking forward to that, but there's adequate room to get to everything. Get that out the way, and I have officially done my first transfer case. Little fine tuning right at the top. It's hard to see, but we are clearing. Yes! Let's get our drive shafts in. To get a drive shaft, guys, I had made up my mind we weren't building them. One, you can't take a long bed and cut it down because it's a two-piece. Two, a factory short bed one is too short. And they don't have a telescoping piece. If we were gonna build something with a telescoping piece, then you gotta have it balanced. To do that, I still gotta drive over an hour to a drive shaft shop to have them do it. Last drive shaft, basic drive shaft I had built up in the city cost me $400. And it didn't have telescoping. Pretty simple damn drive shaft. I just asked Bill what he had to pay for his. His was also right at $400. So I hopped online and found this website, Tom Woods, and they build four-wheel drive drive shafts. And they have excellent reviews. And it was a very simple, easy process. It shipped out like 2 business days after I ordered them. And I didn't have to drive an hour each way to the city a couple times. Perfect. And oh yeah, it was right at $800 for 2 drive shafts because we got to have the longer one for the front. 6-inch lift kit will get you. You'll see a lot of 6-inch lift kits. Look at where the wheel center. Everything moves forward so they can keep a drive shaft and it just looks goofy. Ours looks good. The answer here for a good driver is to have some good components, some reliable components, some balanced components. I didn't want to redneck some drive shafts on this thing. Now, like the Mud-Sadies, we can redneck some, but this thing that we want to be reliable, Dad be able to drive it anywhere if he wants. Let's get some good drive shafts in here. So thread clean in action. Beautiful fit on the drive shafts. Very happy with that. Now our front, there really ain't no sense in installing it because obviously the front ring gear and that whole debacle. But we want to at least check her for fit. It's got the double knuckle tumble truckle on the back, don't forget. Yeah, kind of a pain. I can tell she'll go. We'll be just fine. That rubber boot's stretching her back in when I stretch it out to start it, and I just don't want to fight it. Obviously, with weight on that thing, it would compress it, and it'd be easier to start that away. Not worth the fight right now. Popped our lug nuts on, rolled her back to get her out from the lift, guys. We're about to grease up this drive shaft, the telescoping part. We are very close. I got very simple stuff I want to do now on my list left over there, like make sure our trim don't fall off the bed. I may throw the wiring harness on the back for the tail lights, all non-real serious stuff. Considering we're just trying to drive it, not like we're trying to legally drive it. There you go. As you seen, that took a lot of grease. There's a weed pole on the very front. I seen it start to come out of there finally. You want to inspect for me? I think I did good. Quality. When I got old Slick Fitty here, we bled the brakes, and it sure is easier to carry a seat with 2 people. Oh, I think we got a taco it. Oh!
Just leave it unhooked like that thin one.
Shh, don't be telling all my secrets now. Ooh, we're getting close, guys. The tailgate wasn't actually latched. It was rubbing too much, so let's spread it. I may have had a genius idea. I heard two little pops. That's probably about what she needed. Oh yeah. Let's see how much she springs back.
Can we make it worse?
Went too far, Slick, you overachiever. Don't worry, I got a ratchet strap. We'll pull her back in a hair.
We can slam it, it'll hold itself shut now.
That's where we started. Driver side's good. We just want to tweak in the passenger a hair.
Okay.
Did you see her go?
Yeah.
Oh, she's closer. Here more. We ratchet strapped this side one more time and it was perfect, guys. Perfect. Hit her with a little looby dooby.
Man, this one smells good.
Now this old seat is the OG from old Roy. And if she could talk, we'd have to burn her. But luckily she can't talk, so she's safe for now. Interior's wrapped up, guys. This is as far.
Good to go.
Yeah, she's good. Hell. Can't have her looking sloppy, so we'll finish getting her trim on.
Dang, who lined that one up?
Yeah, what's going on there?
I don't know.
You know what it is?
The bow and the
trim's bowed because someone kept a screw in the back and taped it at the front, and the tape fell, and he let the bow hang for a month. Whoever did that. This could be temporary. I would like to get matching trim eventually. Little crooked trim. Still looks. Hey, still looks better than missing trim. I give a damn. We got the step ladder. Guys, I can't think of anything else we've got to do. We do need to put gas in it, but we'll do that on the way to the dyno. Did I mention we're going to the dyno? Surprise! Oh yeah. Woohoo!
She still got it.
Hell, I've seen everything I need to see. She's ready to perform.
Quiet too.
Man.
Can't beat that.
And I think, guys, the vehicle speed sensor is something of concern. But the tuner said if when you're driving it, if you come to a stop real quick, it'd probably die if you got the wires backwards. And ours did not. She idled back down perfect. So we just got lucky guessing on those two wires. No need to flip-flop them. Dude. I mean, we only backed out a little bit before I had to light them up.
Look at the patch.
Looks like a wheelbarrow come over here and got butt nasty.
That's why it's fair. It's only got 2 inches of tread touching.
Got 2 lugs. How freaking quiet. Oh, and it looks awesome. Let's go up and down the driveway. We are not used to getting into stuff this damn tall.
I might have step stool.
What a cool truck. Oh! Better watch out, boys. She's ready to go on the road. Fuel gauge come back down, so that's probably good now. No clue what the transfer case is in. She rides a little stiff. Of course, we got brand new leaf springs all the way around, but not as rough as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it'd be like beat your teeth rough.
This is how our old Roy used to ride, pretty sure. So.
Dang, I'm finally in something taller than this Johnson grass. Oh, they sneak up on puddins.fab.shop's house. His wife's in there wondering what the hell's going on. We better not get too carried away here because we ain't got a front drive shaft. How stinking cool. I mean, I ain't gotta just plumb get crazy on it and open it up. But she's going. I mean, steering good, braking good, feels good. Everything's good. Last thing we're gonna need to check before we do, we're gonna trailer it, guys. She's not legal as far as title and tag and insurance. But we do need to get stuff a little warm and check the trans fluid since she was doing the little drippy droppy. Quick glance for anything obvious. I don't think your booster's supposed to be leaking. Yeah, after we bled brakes, we didn't pop the cap back down. Guys, I ain't drove nothing like this since I drove the OG old Roy. Used to drive it from Louisiana up to Oklahoma. I think she's gonna be pretty good with her 373s. Yeah. Though with that tall tire, she may not have enough lower, but she seems all right so far. She moves along quicker than the OG old Roy did, I promise you that.
Yeah, she got more power.
Way more powers.
The old Roy's kind of a dog.
Well, I've seen everything I need to see, guys. I would like to get it to the tuner, just where he can check all the vitals on it, see everything, check out the tune. I don't really care about squeezing more power out of it. Just as far as like the fans and stuff go, right now I used our one jumper wire and got them on. And they're doing a good job, because that finally started reading 180, and she's been cooling her off since. And you don't gotta worry about your door rubbing the fender on that one. She's strapped. I pulled in the gas station down there on the one side to fill up that truck, then just come down to this one. She's gonna get the dyno carrot ethanol free, because the fillers are on different sides, and whipping a trailer around in a gas station ain't the easiest. We're gonna get her topped off and we'll jet up there. No, we're right here. We're about to pass each other. There you are. There went Puddin' Pops. Look good?
Looks like you're going mudding.
Yeah, we are going mudding. I'm gonna go get it tuned and just go rack it through the mud and get it nice and dirty, and then you can come get it and clean it.
There you go.
What a bad mamma jamma. Fuel gauge is working. You boys ready to party or what? Oh, they're ready to party. He said get it on there. And then he asked if our drive shaft angle's gonna work. I said, hell, it has to. It ain't gonna change. Oh, she looks good driving, guys. She looks good. I'm not liable for garage doors. We got brake lights, boys. They're getting a baseline put in her, guys. I'm not expecting big numbers. 6.0, about 2004-ish. Probably about 300 to the flywheel from the factory. But we're going through a 350 turbo, then the transfer case, then those big 3/4 ton axles. I'm thinking we're going to be doing good to make it to the tire right at 200. And some of y'all got to remember, there's a difference between horsepower to the flywheel and the damn tire. Some people are like, well, that little S10 only made 300, and my factory 5.3, it says it makes 330. Yeah, to the flywheel. Go put that same truck on a dyno and you're not gonna read 330 at the tire, I promise you. And then also every dyno is different, so depending on what type of dyno you are, some rob a little more power than others too. But I told them we're not looking to squeeze as much power as we can out of it as we can. It's just bone stock. We want a good driver, reliable, just make sure everything's happy.
What'd you do, Richard?
Hey, this thing don't wind up so fast. How come? Dang! 264. Hey, it must be that nice exhaust and cold air intake. It actually surprised me. And guys, they tune a lot of bone stock 6 liters, and none of them thought it was going to go that high. I should have bet you on that horsepower again. What'd you say, like 180 or something?
Well, I did, and I said, man, it might make 200. What'd it make?
263 first pull.
What?
Man,
What's that mean?
that exhaust I built.
Sucks the exhaust through the engine. Pulls it out.
Are you okay with going over 80 miles an hour?
Yeah, go as fast as you want. She's stock. Do you trust it?
No. But if you have faith,
Oh boy, I don't want to have to winch it on the trailer.
you might.
He asked if I was okay with him doing a pull at 80. He's worried about the drive shaft because the crazy angles of it. I told him drive shaft's new. He's welcome to test it if he wants. Everyone here is already surprised with the numbers through those 37s. Drive shaft held on. How fast was it going?
96.
96.
That's excellent power.
Guys, on that pull right there, max power 282. 282. It exceeded everyone's expectations here. Oh, you're mean, ain't you? Can't be mad at that, guys. We just wanted to make sure everything was happy. Everything looks good. She's making 282 to the tire through a bone stock 6-liter. Now granted, I put the exhaust and the air intake on it, but that ain't nothing crazy, so don't act like it is. But going through the rest of the drivetrain and on our size of wheels and tires and 3/4 ton axles, pretty happy with that. And oh yeah, don't forget, all that out of a 120,000 mile motor too. She takes all the trailer to fit width-wise. You did good, girl. You did good. Boom, shout out to the Able Racing for taking care of us, guys. I love just coming up here and letting them do their thing and get us tuned out, and it's just always a good time, and they're good at what they do. And they go from basic stuff like this, basic oil swaps, or if you're trying to make some real deal power, they can tune it all. So Roy, KK, I got you a new truck. All the high schoolers will think you're so cool. You can feel a little bit of power increase, guys. That's awesome. I just had to take her for a little down and back. You hear the slapping and clanking? Pretty sure that's the transfer case. She's always done that. Let's pull her down here by the pond and close this out, huh? Right here's where I ate some Taco Bell and I come down here and had a plum blowout on me. Just playing, guys. There she is. That's what we're gonna get through on this go around. What I didn't tell you was we did find a fuel leak on it up there. One of my lines I'd built. It's the first time I've had one of those lines leak. So it'll have some shakedown stuff with it like that. Much other than that, I think probably like our turn signals up front, we need to check some stuff like that. And the title of this truck, we just need to get it in Dad's name and get a tag on it where we can actually start driving it on the street and giving it even more shakedown miles. So I appreciate y'all sticking it out as I was sick and struggled through. I hope y'all's excited about seeing this thing on the road. I'm way more excited about it, especially now that I've driven it. I think it just brought back a lot of driving the original old Roy back in the day memories. And in my opinion, guys, this truck looks 1,000 times better. So just look at that sucker right there. I mean, you can't look at that and not think that's a sweet rig right there. So thank y'all so much for watching. Thanks to y'all who bought the old Roy merch. That makes this all possible, where we can do stuff like this and give this truck to Dad. So that means the world to me and my family, y'all choosing to support us. We're on the Patreon, on the Instagrammer, on the Facebooker. Y'all know all the good stuff. If you're on the mobile app, hit that hype the video button. I don't know what that means. Damn, I don't know. It's supposed to help. And anyhow, we appreciate it if you'd hype us, okay? Hype it up. And much other than that, guys, do not forget, sitting on your ass will not finish your project. We'll see y'all in the next one.